Approaching 7:15 on Friday evening, and you join us back in session here at Patshull Church Pool. This is my first session for a good 3 weeks now. Nick was fortunate to get out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm pleased to say went and bagged his first capture of the winter campaign. Small stocky, but a lovely fish nonetheless. It was a mirror carp, beautiful winter colours, apple slice scales, fantastic. So I'll incorporate that still in this blog. We arrived today around about 1:30, and when we arrived there was a good 4 or 5 anglers dotted around the lake. Not all carp fishing, I must add. Quite a few of them are either pike fishing or drop shotting, and they've since departed. So don't actually know how many are left on the lake, but at a guess I would say there's about 3 or 4 anglers, and that's including me and Nick, who's to the left of me in a swim called the Arches, and that's the swim where he went and bagged the first capture of this winter campaign. I'll just quickly run through what I've got out in the pond this evening. Obviously you can see there 3 rods. 2 are fished either side in the marginal areas under overhanging trees, and I've got 1 which is the middle rod in the middle of the lake. The right hand rod, pink citrus pop up on a twisted multi-rig, fished over a handful of whole amber strawberry bottom baits and chop baits. The left hand rod, that's, as I said before, also in a marginal area, scopex squid snowman over a handful of whole baits and chop baits. And the middle rod is, as I said before, in the middle of the pond. A solid bag approach that one is, presenting a citrus wafter, a white one, packed full of crumbed and chopped amber strawberry with some citrus concentrated stick mix and a good coating of strawberry oil palantin oil. So that's the plan of attack, certainly till morning. I'll reassess things then. There's been quite a few fish showing since it got dark. Yeah, I've heard at least got to be 8, maybe 10 fish show. Not so much in front of me and Nick, but certainly further to my right. But yeah, that's encouraging. That obviously means fish are moving about. I've got no idea what's come out recently, or if anything has. I haven't had a chance to speak to anybody, so hopefully I'll catch up with 1 or 2 tomorrow. But yeah, just thought I'd give you a general glimpse of things in this second session of our winter campaign. And as always, if anything happens during the night, we're fortunate to get any action, I'll do my best to get it on camera. But if not, folks, I'll catch you in the morning. Morning, just coming up to 8 o'clock on Saturday morning. And how's the night gone then? Well, looking at the forecast on the Met Office app on my phone, rain was forecasted for around about 1 AM. It actually arrived an hour early. Yeah, listening to the radio as well, they were saying it was going to be quite heavy. It was in at times during the night, but overall it's just been a nice steady pitter patter of rain, which yeah, for me anyway, it's quite nice lying on your bed chair listening to the rain falling on the bivvy or the brolly, whatever you're using. But yeah, on the fishing front, not long after the rain started, I had a cry from further on down the bank, which if I zoom in, we might just be able to see Nick. There he is. Yep, at 12 o'clock he had a take, so I grabbed my receiver and went down to visit his swim, and his, let me think, right hand rod experienced a series of bleeps and a drop back, and he had a bream around about 5 or 6 pound. on a couple of 10mm baits which he's testing from Retro Baits. We'll have a chat with Nick later, and no doubt he'll give us the full SB on those baits. Yep, so I've got back to my swim, and the only thing I've experienced is a very good night's sleep. There's been the odd bleep here and there. There's, as I said in the previous blog, there's quite a few silverfish in here, roach and perch and God knows what. And I'm quite convinced if it isn't the rain falling off the blanks of the rods onto the line every now and then, the odd roach pumps into the line towards the tips, and yeah, that's why we're getting the odd bleep in my opinion. So yeah, I've been awake for a good hour. I've been watching the water, drinking a coffee, and I haven't seen anything show. It's all quiet at the moment. I'm going to keep the rods out till at least 10 o'clock, and then I'm going to respot. Oh, middle rod that was, just had a bleep. That one's on the solid bag. So once again, that's either the rain, a fish, or something having a munch on that spot. Yeah, right then, I'm going to, as I say, keep the rods out till at least 10 o'clock, and then assess the situation. I'm very tempted to put a zig on one rod and use it as a bit of a rover, and certainly if I see anything show, you know, cast at it. But yeah, we'll have a think about that one. But yeah, that's the scene coming up to around about 8:05. We'll catch up with you later. Well, we're just after 11 o'clock, and I've just respotted, and I've decided to stick to what I was doing at the start of the session. But one thing that has changed: stopped raining, and we've got blue and white skies, and it has gone a lot warmer. Temperature's risen by a couple of degrees, so you never know. That could really help the situation, and fingers crossed entice a carp to feed. So I think it's time now we go and see Mr. Rudge. So if you want to follow me, and I'll walk down, and we're going to go and see what he's up to. I think he's just respotting himself. Just respotted, mate. Just respotted. Caught you unawares then. Should have told you he was on camera.
Yeah, caught it.
Well, I just told the folks, blue and white skies. I don't know about you, mate, but has it gone a little bit warmer?
Yeah, I think it's been mild all through the night, to be honest with you. It's not been cold at all.
It feels a bit warmer now though, doesn't it? So
Yeah, it's a lot warmer.
Right. I'll tell you what, we'll just cut it there, because we've got a couple of cars that are going to come past us and cause some noise. So yeah, we'll catch up with you in about 2 minutes. We're back, folks. The cars have just zoomed past us. So yeah, back to you, Mr. Rudge. Yeah, the forecast was pretty much spot on, mate. Looking at the app on the phone, the old Met Office, and it did say it was going to rain from 1 o'clock, but it actually came around about, well, not long after you had that bream.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But tell you what, in this little gap here in the sun, mate, it's feeling lovely.
Yeah, it's gone ever so nice. There's a lot of fizzing out there again.
Yeah.
Whether Mr. Carp likes our baits, I don't know.
Well,
the bream have.
Yeah, it was a nice sized bream you had, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah,
if you'd have caught that on a feed or on a float, you'd have been well chuffed. But not on a size 4 hook and £15 line.
Yeah, and then Mr. Pike grabbed him for it.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring that up, mate. Around about half an hour ago, we had a nice coffee again, and a sausage sandwich, and yeah, we both decided to respot. And as Nick was bringing in one of his rods, an almighty splash, and yes, could only been a pike, mate. Grabbed onto your hook link and broke it. So,
just story in my night so far.
but there has been quite a few pike, activity, mate. I mean,
quite a swim wearing is a productive spot for pike.
Yeah.
But it's also a really good winter. The spots we're in are also really good winter.
Yeah, we've heard that off 2 or 3 different people, and we're in good areas for this time of the year. Like.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I used to fish here a lot when I was on here all those years ago, and it's definitely a good winter spot. It's just Mr. Carp wants to feed today.
That's it, mate. Yeah.
It's just the way it goes. It's not an easy water.
No. I mean, yeah. Let's put things into perspective. It's November, so yeah.
It's quite mild for November today. It's like really mild.
It's not an easy water, but they're not uncatchable.
No. I mean, I proved that last week.
Yeah.
It's just got to put a lot of thought into it.
We only had that conversation earlier this morning. It's this time of the year. You're always thinking whatever type of angling you do, but more so I think this time of the year. And how many times have you done a little subtle change and you've had a bite?
Which is what I did last week.
Yeah.
Just changed the hook link and lengthened the air, and that was all I did.
So
Silly as it seems.
So if we're going to talk rigs, what are you using on this session? Pretty much the same as you did on the last session?
Snowman.
Yeah.
Blowback rig, Snowman.
Is that on 2 or 3 rods?
2 of the 3 rods are on Snowmans, and the third one is on that Ronnie D.
On the Ronnie rig that we showed in the previous blog?
Ronnie rig with a D. Quite popular.
That's the one that we showed in the previous blog?
Yeah. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I just thought, it's a bit different to using chod and inch stiffling. So, it's a decent rig.
So you haven't really done anything different in the...
No.
Which is your 3rd session of this campaign?
Just basically all I've done is I'm using, instead of using a coated hook link now, I've gone back to using an uncoated braid.
So supple braid, yeah?
Yeah, supple braid, and still using the Snowman, but rather than using a bottom bait and a little pop-up of different colour, I'm actually matching the hatch using the same bait.
That's interesting, mate. That's interesting. Well, that's something different to what I'm doing, so we've got 2 different options there, and if you start getting action like that, or vice versa, at least one of us can,
keep trying things.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that carp last week on the Snowman. As I say, just changed the hook link, lengthened the hair slightly, and this week I've gone with a change again. Same hook links, but I've decided, as I say, I'm matching the hatch rather than using a bigger bottom bait with a smaller pop-up, a different colour pop-up. I've decided to use the same colour, the same bait, double bait, not necessarily a pop-up. It's still a Snowman even if I'm using a double bottom bait. That I've just thought I'd try that instead.
You convinced that a little change in the last session got you the bite?
Yeah, definitely.
You are?
Definitely. I mean, okay, I had a bream last night, but it proves that I'm doing something right.
Oh, it was nailed, mate. It was bottom lip. It was nailed. That's all I could say.
Not what I wanted, but at the end of the day, a fish is a fish.
Well, it's a fish, but in my opinion, A, it's an area you've got a bite from, and 2, your rigs are working.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a bream, not a carp.
They always say when the bream start moving in, the carp coming after. That's the old saying, so.
Just approaching 2:45, and the last time we spoke to you, we had a lovely blue sky, white fluffy clouds, and the temperature is on the rise. But since around about 2 o'clock, it's absolutely plummeted, and it's really quite cold. It's going to be far colder tonight than it was last night. Yeah, we've made the decision. We're going to give it till 3 o'clock and assess the situation. But yeah, it's looking a bit bleak at the moment. We did speak to somebody around about, was it an hour ago, Nick?
Yeah.
And they've done a lap of the lake and spoke to the other anglers that are present, and it's been confirmed no one else, well, nothing's been caught. I don't know about anyone else, nothing's been caught. Guy a bit further on down apparently had a drop back in the early hours. Yeah, so to our knowledge, the only fish that has hit the bank since we've been here is the one that Nick had, which was that bream. But yep, it's
conditions haven't been exactly favourable. The last few days we've had, apparently been ground frost down here. The last few days we had that rain, which was cold rain. So obviously, and the water is, well,
Yeah, when we
proper
brought the
cold
rigs in this morning, they were
yeah, it's proper cold.
very cold.
We do think we both agree that the conditions definitely haven't been favourable.
No, I mean, yeah. As
Seems to
Nick,
be a lot of pike showing, so
oh,
it's
loads of
perfect for
pike. Yeah, loads of pike. I think if we'd have got a little lure rod and some plugs or spinners, we'd have fancied our chances trying to catch one of them today. But yeah,
it's a bit of a learning curve for both of us.
oh, it still is, mate. Yeah.
You know, we're still learning about the place, because I mean, it's obviously changed since I last fished it. You know, I mean, I've fished it for years, like, but it's obviously not the same place as it used to be. But you've got to be in it to win it.
Correct. You certainly ain't going to catch anything when you're in here with a rod in the water. Going back to what Nick said about the frost. Yeah, we had a frost. I think it was Monday. Didn't have one Tuesday, but we had one Wednesday, and the rest of the week it's been frost free. But yeah, that says it all. As soon as you get a consistent bout, the fish will adjust to that. And I was having a rattle with a member early on this morning, and he said to me, he said exactly the thing what I just said. So he seemed to think December this place switches on.
Yeah.
So that's 3 different months now that we've heard that this place actually switches on: October, November, and now December.
Yeah. I mean, we do know that they definitely like the margins. That is, you know, pretty evident, especially after the one I had last week.
And the bloke said that to me as well, mate. He says quite close to the bank as well. Have a bit of a lead about if you can feel a nice hard spot and there's a bit of depth to it. He says don't ignore it, even in really, you know, low temperatures.
If the margins are quite deep, then you know, then definitely be fishing them. It's a shame because earlier on, conditions looked quite all right, didn't they?
About half one-ish, quarter to two. It was when I was having a rattle in your swim. That sun was on my back and it was lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's.
I mean, there's a lot of fizzing out here again. Yeah, in this swim, I've seen loads of fizzing, but it's just, you know. We had some swirl just, but we're not sure if it was a pike or what. It's, they do seem to be about.
They certainly do, mate. Right then, well, yep, we're going to give it till 3 o'clock. And if we don't see you again in this blog, well, we hope you've enjoyed it. We've tried to make it as, well, enjoyable viewing as we possibly can. Sadly, it's looking like no carp to show you, but yeah, that's another session under my belt. That's Nick's third of this winter campaign, and fingers crossed, we should be back to do it all again next week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have a carp or two to show you. As I say, it's a learning curve. Everybody we've spoken to have all, you know, most of them more or less said like margins, so we're going to stick to our what people have been saying. See how it goes.
Yep, we can't ignore the advice.
You've got to be in it to win it. So get out there, not sitting in your chairs watching your DVDs.
Yeah,
get out there.
Sitting in your chairs watching me and Nick.
Carp porn or watching us. Yeah.
Right. Okay then, folks. Well, yeah, we'll catch up with you soon.